can catch it, match it, stash it in the cabinet. Listen to the chorus while let Ivan scratch it. This is real hip hop, we aiming for a classic. And if we can't approach it, screw it, we'll attack it. Catch it, match it, stash it in the cabinet. Listen to the chorus while let Ivan. This is real hip hop, we aiming for a classic. And if we can't approach it, screw it, we'll attack it. And it's no secret, when life gets hectic, I take some time out to reminisce.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Retro Wrestling Review Series. I meant to say the episode number, but we don't do it that way anymore. So,
we don't need to. You know what it is.
You know who we are. You know who we are because you just saw the intro. So you don't need to know.
Yeah.
And today we're reviewing NXT TakeOver Wargames 2 from 2008, last year's. It's actually almost a year to the date of when it actually happened in real life. Because in real life, I think it's like a few days before this day. So
yeah.
This is kind of cool. It's kind of like the first time you've ever done like a retro, like almost a year later. So making history here.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm excited about it. And James, this was your pick.
Yes,
so,
it was.
Obviously, you want to say why you picked this show?
I picked this show because Wargames this year is coming up soon, and I figured why not? Because we did All In for Full Gear, so I figured why not review the best Wargames takeover from last year. Why not?
Yeah. And this is cool. So if you want to see like a review of it when it actually happened, we have a live reactions on James's channel that I'll link in the description box, and I'll link the retro. I forget the rundown that I did for it. I forget what episode it is, but it'll be in the description box.
Yes. So you will be seeing this a year later. What our thoughts of it now?
Yeah.
Let's see if our perceptions changed. I'll
be a little bit of a spoiler. They haven't really changed all that much because this show is still so great.
Yes.
But let's talk about it.
Although I will say the one thing that is a noticeable difference is our reaction to the violence. Because I think because now we've seen Moxley and Omega.
I mean, the violence is still pretty damn violent, but
it's still pretty damn violent. But I think we thought it was like, holy shit, what violence! And compared to Moxley and Omega, where it was just like, oh, the violence.
Yep. All right, so so pretty much they were bringing back Wargames. WWE finally brought it back last year in 2017, and it was probably like one of the best matches of 2017 in our year-end awards. It was in contention, only losing to a match at NXT TakeOver Chicago, the first one. So there you go. Now how we do this pretty much is we're going to review NXT that aired the following week first, since those were like the dark matches of this show, because I figure that makes the most sense. So we're going to start with NXT from November 21st, 2018. On commentary for everything pretty much was Nigel McGuinness, Mauro Ranallo, and Percy Watson. NXT is still the best commentary team in all of professional wrestling.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, this was the best. But yeah, pretty much Nigel and Mauro are in the exact same position that they were a year ago. I mean, Mauro's
that has not changed much. But Percy has now moved on to Hollywood, and I'm sad because he was so good with it.
When you watch the show, you actually miss Percy Watson.
I really miss Percy Watson.
Yeah, I feel like nobody really thinks about that because they thought he was just another face, but he really fit well with.
He fit Nigel so well.
Yeah,
it's amazing how well he fit in.
But yeah, so starting with the like I said, this show, the first overall match of the show was Keith Lee versus Fidel Bravo, I believe is how you pronounce his name.
Yes.
No story behind it. It was just there's a story about why they
squash, bro.
Yeah. There is a overall story of why they did these two matches, which we'll get into. But Keith Lee had just signed with WWE. He was pretty much making his name in NXT. It's so weird see him not come out with the theme song, "The Bask in My Glory," that he has now.
For some reason, I wish they just did a dub of his beat.
Yeah,
because I don't know what it is about this beat. I really like his beat.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Like I don't know, it fit him. It fit him a lot more. I thought the beat itself.
Yeah, but this was a absolute squash. He hits the pounce and he hits a fireman's carry jackhammer for the win, which he still does today. This match, I thought did the job. It needed to do 3 stars. And we're not going to say what Keith Lee is since he's going to be on the show later on. But Fidel Bravo, I have no idea where he is. I think he's just because there's no Wikipedia on him. There's nothing. So I don't know if
I think he was, honest to God, just a local jobber. I cannot believe they made a graphic for him.
Yeah.
But not the other guy.
And he got an entrance, too.
Like, yeah, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
So this is probably a match that is kind of different. It was the next match was Lars Sullivan versus Keita Murray. I know like there's a lot of things about Lars Sullivan, but I'm gonna take that out. But going back, he was such a monster in NXT. Like
yeah,
and
yeah, holy shit, they fucked him up, huh?
I loved his.
I mean, I understand. Like everybody wants to say, everybody's like, well, he's a racist. And he is. No doubt of that.
Yep.
But you also got to remember who's running the main roster. So, he was pretty safe.
Yeah. But yeah,
you would think, and he still got fucked.
Let's talk about it, though. I loved his entrance where, like, he had the dark, creepy music. Especially to, like, when he had, like, that like spotlight that looked like it was like the moon. He would stand right in front of it, like
yeah. Not just that, the yellow like LED light that he stood over, which made him look even more menacing. I missed this entrance. I can't believe they got rid of it when he showed up on the main roster. I'm like, are you fucking retarded?
Yeah.
Jesus, like this was such a good entrance for him. It fit him so well. He came down there. He looked like a monster. That spotlight thing that he does is like that's just picture perfect every time.
So then,
yeah, it's great presentation of Lars here.
Yeah, and another squash. The guy doesn't even get to get introduced. He just immediately takes the guy out with a drop kick or something, and he's just done. Like he wins with the
hits him with the drop kick, fucking lariat.
The final,
and then he hit him with a freak accident for the win.
Yeah. And then afterwards, so the story was he was upset he wasn't getting the NXT title match because he pinned the #1 contender, the Velveteen Dream, right before the show. And he said that he's going to continue his path of destruction until he gets an NXT title match. And he goes to continuously destroy Keita Murray. And then Keith Lee runs out, and they get into a face-off, and Keith Lee hits a wicked pounce, and Lars Sullivan backs off. This match also was a 3. Just because it did the job it needed to do. And afterwards, backstage, Keith Lee and Lars Sullivan are about to get into it. And then the match was made official for the next episode. Because Lars Sullivan, they had to basically rush the program because Lars Sullivan got called right up to the main roster because Vince was impressed with the video packages. And you're wondering why the guy had a nervous breakdown. He was rushed right to the main roster before he was even ready. Like,
and with Vince in charge, no less. Yeah. I'd be scared too. I'd have an anxiety attack also.
You know, we should say Lars Sullivan would go on to win and beat Keith Lee. And I don't really have much of an issue with that. You know, obviously, it just sucks. Like, I feel like we could have gotten a nice mini feud out of this for like a few weeks.
I wish Lars Sullivan was still there so that way he could like mix it up with Dijakovic and fucking Bronson Lee. Or Bronson Reed. Why do they call him Lee?
But yes, the Lars Sullivan. I wish too. Like he could have had we could have got some nice enhancement matches where they're trying to beat their opponents faster, and then they have the match. But of course, because the main so this is an example where main roster still was still screwing with NXT because they make it so they have to what they it was like they were trying to radio talent pretty much. And
Thank God NXT's on USA.
yeah, because they don't do that no more. But yeah, Lars Sullivan, like I said, it's a real crime what happened to him. He, pretty much didn't. His monster gimmick did not work at all on the main roster, and it's like the main roster went out of their way to make the guy look as strong as possible, but it's like it just didn't. They didn't do it right at all. Like it just didn't work. And obviously the race thing happened, and then he's injured now, so I have a feeling too. After everything, they're not going to push him now. Forget that. So,
yeah, I would hope he just comes back to NXT though.
Yeah,
he'll be pushed there.
NXT.
Well,
Keith Lee though has benefited tremendously. He's had killer matches, like you said, with Dijakovic, and he's really become like one of the main stars of NXT.
Just had an awesome match recently with. I had an awesome match recently with Roderick Strong.
Yep. I mean, I guess the only disappointing thing you could say about Keith Lee is he's just now like starting to really rise up because also he got hurt earlier.
Yeah. What's with all these big guys getting hurt?
And then Keith Lee, I think, got lost in the shuffle a bit because him and Matt Widow both got signed at the same time, and they pushed Matt Widow a little bit more than him. But now he's doing awesome. Like, he's really hitting the stride in NXT, which is great.
Yeah, I think the second hour helped him greatly.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we have, probably the best match of the whole dark match. I think, too, they did these dark matches because they knew, how great the show was, so they didn't want to burn the crowd out during the rest of the show. So that was actually a smart move, I thought.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Then we had I'll just say too, one feud sets up a multitude of matches on this show, and this is one of them. So it's Nikki Cross versus Candice LeRae. So pretty much what this feud was in the summer, Aleister Black got legit injured. So they had to find a way to write him out of a triple threat match they had booked at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 between him, Tommaso Ciampa, and Johnny Gargano. So then they did the Who Done It angle. It was pretty much...
Oh my God, and I kid you not, this is no exaggeration, the greatest Who Done It angle of all time.
Yeah, literally.
Honest to God, the greatest in wrestling history. Nothing is gonna, I don't think, will even come close to this. And the main roster tried, by the way.
Twice,
and fucking fell flat on their face.
I mean, today I understand why, but the Attitude Era couldn't get this right.
Oh my God. The fucking Rikishi, he did it for The Rock.
Yeah.
And then Roman Reigns' attacker was fucking apparently Luke Harper.
No,
even though it looked like Buddy Murphy.
Eric Rowan. It was Eric Rowan.
Who the fuck cares?
And then we find out the whole reason Eric Rowan did it. No one has a problem with this, but I do. Was because he wanted to break out on his own, and then the next paper.
And then he teams up with fucking Luke Harper.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Bludgeon Brothers are back. Yeah. Okay.
All right, but anyhow, yeah. So this is and the funny thing is too, NXT had to come up with this on the fly too, and. Yep. A bunch of people around the situation, and I love this feud so much because it sets up so many things. It sets up the NXT title match on this show. It's we got the introduction of the Forgotten Sons from that angle.
Fucking Wargames match.
Lars Sullivan returned from this because it was believed he attacked.
Yeah, it was Lars Sullivan was in there, and
yep.
Nikki Cross was the one who saw. I know.
Yep. So I want to say one thing. A lot of people are telling me Nikki Cross's gimmick is literally the same as NXT. Go watch this match, and that's not the case at all.
It's not at all.
Yeah.
Holy shit. It's not at all.
I guess she's still crazy, but, it's so dubbed down from NXT. She legit was, nuts in NXT, and I don't know what the hell happened.
Well, she wanted to become a fairy princess like her little Miss Bliss.
Yep. But Nikki Cross knew who did it all along and never told anyone. And then we had that return on NXT with Aleister Black, returned doing one of them.
Sitting in the ring, and he just angrily growls at her, "Tell me."
Yep.
This is after a grueling match between her and I don't remember.
Bianca Belair.
It was Bianca. That's what I thought initially.
Yeah.
But yeah. So after a grueling match with Bianca, and which got thrown out via DQ, I assume, or no contest, whatever.
Yeah.
She just whispers it to him, and he's furious.
And we don't know who it is at this point.
And we didn't know who it was. And then the next week, we find out it's Johnny Gargano.
Yep.
He turned heel.
Mr. Wrestling, like the biggest babyface ever. And it made all the sense in the world because he took out Aleister Black because he felt like, he was in his way from getting a one-on-one match with Tommaso Ciampa. And we'll get into more of that feud later. But Candice LeRae was upset because Nikki Cross...
Yeah, dude, so many people were involved in this because Velveteen was even accused of doing it as well. Cassius Ohno, fucking Riddle, like everybody in the Forgotten Sons at one point, everybody was accused of this.
Yep.
It was not like they tied a whole story around this brand.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
But Candice LeRae was upset that Nikki Cross didn't tell anyone about it. And you can believe why Candice LeRae would be upset about this because this is her husband and it was something that she didn't know. So and
it ruined her and pretty much ruined her life and Johnny's life for a while.
I love the commentary team too. I was even saying you could actually see both sides of the perspective with this story. So it's kind of a cool type of matchup in a way. The match is really good. I think
this is a great match actually.
I think they should have saved the match for a future show because I thought the match got kind of rushed, but it was still really good. They both stopped brawling with each other. Nikki Cross gets the upper hand throughout much of the match, and she hits the Purge at one point, which is that Fisherman's neck breaker that they don't call it the Purge anymore because the main roster doesn't like NXT. So,
it's not PG.
Candice LeRae kicks out, which they hyped up hugely because it was the first time anyone had ever kicked out of the Purge. Candice LeRae mounts a comeback. She hits a torpe suicida through the ropes. She beats the crap out of Nikki Cross. She hits the springboard moonsault, but Nikki Cross kicks out. And then you see Candice LeRae start to get this darker side into her. And obviously this tells that story since her husband kind of was acting this way. So it was kind of is this starting to rub off on her?
Yeah.
And Candice LeRae's laughing. Nikki Cross is laughing, which just shows right there how different Nikki Cross is. Because this never happens now in the main roster, where she's just laughing at the pain. And Candice LeRae's why are you laughing? And she hits a superplex, but Nikki Cross kicks out, and then eventually the finish comes when Nikki Cross hits the Purge from the ropes and wins, which I was fine with Nikki Cross winning. It tied into more of that storyline with her and Johnny Gargano, whether they were changing. And she actually at one point does the Gargano escape on Nikki Cross, which is cool. This match was really good. I give it 3.5. It was really good match.
3.5 stars. It was great. The final TV match / dark match was good.
Yeah. Which is, I think that would be one thing that's going to be different from the takeover this time around.
Yeah, there won't be. I think they're going to have a pre-show. They should.
Yeah, because they can't, carry it over to the next episode anymore because, it's on USA now and such, and it's live every week now. So,
yeah.
It wouldn't be the best idea anyways.
Yeah.
And as for Candice LeRae, obviously, is doing very well in NXT. Obviously, the storyline kind of ended once Gargano turned on Ciampa and such. And she kind of just went back to being a babyface. She tried to contend for the women's title on a handful of occasions, but failed. And she's basically one of the best babyfaces in NXT, probably the second best one.
Right behind her hubby.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying in terms of woman, anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Because...
yeah.
Same. And then Nikki Cross basically was finishing out her NXT dates. She had that final match with Bianca Belair and lost. and unfortunately, as we talked about now, went up to the main roster. She basically just slowly got away from this gimmick where she's still crazy, but it's just not. It's a lot of people are telling me, but it's be real, guys. It's not the same Nikki Cross from NXT like at all. Like, they make it and they make jokes out of it now too. Like it's just ridiculous. Like lay off the coffee and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I just watch this and get sad. I mean, with Nikki Cross, anyways. But the match is still really good. And I should mention too, by the way, for the commentary, this was more Ronaldo's like return to because he had been off TV for like a few weeks.
Yeah.
Because he was promoting mental illness stuff.
That, and I think he was doing. Wasn't he doing the Mayweather boxing fight with McGregor?
Maybe
during that time, I think he did.
We should talk. I want to talk about this too, because like typically when a commentator is off for like a few weeks, they're still good, but they're not as tuned with the storylines. It's like he never missed a beat. It's like he did his research before he even like you know.
Well, I mean, he's also he loves NXT. I mean, he probably watched the show. He was like, yes, this is good, riveting television. I can imagine him just. Could you imagine how awesome it would be? Just imagine you're in the same room with Morrow. Yeah. Morrow mutes the Morrow somehow finds a way, and like maybe WWE gives him an option to just turn commentary off, and he's commentating NXT by himself in his living room.
Oh my god!
That would be the day. I would laugh so hard. I don't know whether to laugh or like be into what he's doing. I might commentate with him. Fuck it.
Am I the only one that wants like a network series where they show like past matches and it's like Morrow like commentating over it? Like that would be awesome.
Just Morrow?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be great. You know what would be great? Are they still doing those reaction shots with him on commentary?
From time to time, yeah.
Dude, I love those. Holy shit, he's so into it. He's like an inspiration for me for how I do commentary.
All right, so then we had the pre-show. We had the panel of Charlie Caruso, Sam Roberts, and Pat McAfee. This is typically the typical panel we see every takeover now. You know, Charlie Caruso hosts it, which I think they should get rid of Charlie Caruso as a host. He's just not really all that good at it, but same.
Wait, is her and Balor still dating? Don't tell that to Balor.
Charlie Caruso's dating Finn Balor?
I thought she was.
I thought that was Kathy Kelly.
Oh, they all look the same.
But Sam Roberts, you know, it's just he looks like he's having so much more fun doing the panels for this than the main roster. So
of course he is.
Yeah.
Why would he not?
And Pat McAfee's just awesome out there anyway because he's just so out of control. Like, it's great.
He's spinning out of control. Out of control.
And then we had an interview with Nita Stratus, who was performing one of the theme songs for this show. And she had done.
When are we gonna get a tag team match with Nina and her sister Trish Stratus?
That'd be awesome.
They just come out with guitars and just swing for the fences.
Fuck
you, Nikki! I'm a nut.
But this is what I like about NXT. They didn't pick like a well-known artist. They had like someone get actual like publicity from doing their theme songs. She just talked about how she was doing her first singles tour at the time. Whose theme song she would like to do, and she said Becky Lynch.
Oh yeah.
And she talked about
didn't she?
No. But you know, she talked about like what it's been like for like because the Evolution pay-per-view just happened, and I think she just performed like there in the opening. So she just talked about all the stuff she's been doing lately. That was quite good. I don't know what she's doing now. I think she's just still. I'm assuming she's still performing. I don't know how her tour went. Hopefully it went well.
There you go.
Then Matt Widow gets interviewed, and him and Pat McAfee get into a blow-off, which was funny. And Matt Widow's breaking down one of the matches of the show, and he's supposed to face Cassius Ohno. He had just come in, and Cassius Ohno, he just break down the story real quick. he was upset that he wasn't getting investigated about the Aleister Black attack, saying he was there and maybe he has some input. And William Regal's just like, I don't need your interview. I don't need you. I don't need your intake. You're already proven innocent. And Cassius Ohno was getting upset because this is when he started that storyline where all the new recruits were coming in and they were surpassing him, and everybody cared about him when he came back. And then all of a sudden, like, his fanfare went away. And all of a sudden now he just...
Gee, I wonder why. Maybe it's because you're a fat fucking slob!
Yep.
Fucking work on your cardio and people will give a shit.
So William Regal said he will let him know when he has something planned for him. And I think he actually... William Regal said he promised him, like, a match, and then the match didn't happen. So, like, Cassius Ohno was mad. So, like...
Cassius Ohno got mad. I didn't get a match.
And then maybe William Regal was trying to send him a message like, hey, work on your cardio, buddy. Like, you'll get booked on the show.
You fat slob, work on your fucking cardio.
So then this is when Keith Lee and Matt Riddle had just come in, and, you know, they did like a backstage segment where Keith Lee is like, oh, look at the new toys that they brought in. And he said, like, you know what happens?
Just goes up to Cassius Ohno. William Regal just goes, I got a very simple solution for this. Cassius Ohno's like, what? Treadmill!
That should just be skits all day long. Like, but yeah, led to this. The match was supposed to happen in one of the dark matches, but yeah, they just do a panel where Cassius Ohno's just talking crap to him, and Matt Riddle just walks away. Matt Riddle just walks away, and that was it.
Matt Riddle just says, you know, I thought you used to be cool. Now you're uncool.
I think he did, actually, yeah. So, I loved it.
Yeah.
Because at least there's something better in the show.
Yes.
Good pre-show. NXT's we give a lot of flack to, like, the WWE pre-shows and say that AEW's are better, which they are, but NXT's are no slouch. They're actually good. There's no matches on them, but, like, you know, it's also what a pre-show could be, too. It's just, you know.
Yeah.
Then we had the show. So the intro video package, which was awesome, just shows all the feuds going into the show, except one, which we'll get into in a second. And I'll let you break down the first thing that happens, because I think you loved it. Matt Riddle invading the show. I think you love this.
Bro. Comes out, crowd's going, bro. He's just there, and he's ready to... He's like, you know... I'm not on the takeover card.
Everyone booed.
I was supposed to be fighting Cassius Ohno next week, but we got a ring. We got 2 rings out here. It's fucking you can tell he's high as shit. Imagine him and Van Dam in the same room.
Oh my gosh! Don't even get started.
Just imagine.
The commentators too make sure to point out this is not part of, like, the regularly scheduled programming, so I like it.
Yeah. They say that, and then he's just like, we got a referee out here, so why don't you get out here so I can knock you out, Cassius Ohno, bro? And then Cassius Ohno comes out, he fucking whines. God, he's got that prima donna voice. Even back then. And he just comes out.
I'll be honest with you, though. As bad as he is, he's so much worse now than he was then. Like, I don't know how that happened.
Because again, he doesn't give a shit anymore. So, yeah, he's coming out and he's like, you just made the biggest mistake of your life. You realize you're not ready for TakeOver, right? Right, you're not ready for TakeOver, right? You're not ready. I'm gonna come in there, and I'll be the one to knock you out, bro. Fuck off.
He doesn't say it exactly like that, but...
I'm a fat slob who can't get on a treadmill and actually work on his cardio. I'm a fat ass.
Let's see, I don't think Cassius Ohno was ready for TakeOver either.
Yeah. You realize you're not ready for TakeOver, Riddle. Yeah, he's more ready than you are. He's way more ready, and everybody's like, "You just want him back as a skinny self." I'm like, "No, I don't give a fuck that he's fat." First off, we're boxers, the fucking boxing shorts or whatever the fuck, because you need them. I don't like looking at them damn thighs.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "Well, he got some thick thighs." I'm like, he got some fucking holes in his thighs. It's gross. That's the first thing. Second off, I don't care if he's fucking fat in the ring. I just want him to be able to produce.
Yeah.
And not be lazy with his work, which he is definitely being. Anyway, he comes in. The bell rings. Matt Riddle comes out of nowhere. Final flash knee. 1, 2, 3. It's over. It's done. 8 seconds. Shortest match on NXT TakeOver of all time.
Actually,
Soda got schooled. He got knocked the fuck out, man.
Actually, it's 6 seconds.
6 seconds. I'm sorry, I undersold it.
It's better than you think it is.
Clocked him.
If you go watch our live reaction to this, we were even one of our friends was even calling out this match. I bet this match is going to be really short. We didn't think it would be 6 seconds, and I remember we were all dying laughing when Matt Riddle won in 6 seconds.
I want those reactions back. Yeah. Oh my god, that was hysterical.
And then
absolutely hysterical.
I'm gonna give this match 3 1/4 because Cassius Ohno. I know my bias is showing, but I
fucking loved every bit of that. I'm giving it. I'm giving it a 4. I fucking love this. This is the best. Oh fuck! Oh no.
But the feud continued after this.
My jaw, it got hurt. I don't want to be in NXT anymore. Send me to UK so I can eat all the fucking Nando's in the world.
And then have the gimmick where he doesn't have to do much.
Yeah, the wrestling genius. No, you're the genius. Dude, you know what he is? He's the modern day Kevin Nash.
Yep.
Does fuck all and pretends he's doing shit. And gets gassed halfway through running the ropes.
Matt Riddle.
That's Cassius Ohno now. He's the modern day Nash.
Matt Riddle beat him 2 more times after this, because obviously, like.
Oh.
Huh?
He went 3-0. Oh, it's the best.
And then you basically just explained what Cassius Ohno is just by that. Matt Riddle's doing awesome though. He's had killer matches in NXT. He's like one of the top 5 athletes down there now.
100%.
And yeah, he's just having awesome matches, and his character works. I mean, he was a good character then, but he's so much better on the mic now than he was then. Not saying he was bad, but it's awesome.
Yes. Before we continue, to explain where Cassius Ohno is now, I will give you the evolution. He came back fat, but he was a babyface, and he was doing a lot of shit. He was actually really good back in his day. Then he kept getting fatter and always kept losing steam. At one point, he had his fucking basketball jersey tucked into his fucking tights, which was he then turned heel to do less. Then he went to NXT to have one babyface match, which was sloppy, and then turned back heel in UK, and now he's doing even less than he was during this point.
And you know what the funny thing is? Everyone's saying he's so much better in UK now, too. Like...
Yeah, sure. I'm still waiting to see when he's going to fucking hit his, cyclone kick properly, which he can't do anymore.
Yep. Alright, so, then we had the proper start of the show. We had a 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Women's Championship. NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane. Love this feud.
This fucking match was the best.
This feud started in the Mae Young Classics, the first round, the first one where they were the finalists, and Kairi Sane beat Shayna Baszler, and then they both went to NXT. However, Shayna Baszler was having more success than Kairi Sane. She won the championship.
Yeah, so I will say, and you could look at our reactions on the first Mae Young Classic. We hated it towards the end.
Yeah.
We hated it. Like, I still look back at it. It's like, I don't think we were harsh either. We really hated that because it just felt like a publicity stunt one, and like they were just trying to rush through it too. You know.
Yeah.
I love the second one so much better than this one. But yeah, no, they had a match. It was aight, but then they had another match.
Well, first they had a match on NXT where Baszler won dominant fashion. So, and then they had another match. They had the match at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 4, where because Kairi Sane won a number one contenders match. And they even brought it up like Baszler was doing so much better than Kairi Sane, while Kairi Sane was kind of floundering. And then Kairi Sane,
she countered the Kira Fuda clutch into the fucking old school Bret Hart pin.
Yep. And
won the title. And then at Evolution, lost the belt to Baszler because of her 4 Horsewomen affiliates, Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir debuting. And this was pretty much the rubber match. So let's count this. So Mae Young Classic, Kairi Sane, NXT TV, Shayna, Kairi, and then Shayna, and then this 2 out of 3 falls match. They basically had a best of 7 series.
Yep. Shayna Baszler
too.
You forget him one thing, became the first 2-time NXT Women's Champion by winning.
Oh yeah, Shayna Baszler too. Yeah, she became the first 2-time.
We had the match. I gotta say, because we've seen it's so much awesome to not have to hear Kairi Sane's music like mixed in with somebody else's now. Like it's such refreshing to go back and rewatch that. So
refreshing.
Yeah.
Dude, why didn't they just go with Baby Metal for them?
I don't know.
Fuck.
But the match starts. Kairi Sane just immediately attacks Shayna Baszler. She hits a double knees into the corner, and she just beats the crap out of her. She hits the sliding D, which I wish she would get rid of that name. I'm not really a fan of that. And then she hits it off the apron.
Sliding. Anytime when I first heard it, the sliding D.
Yeah. I wish.
I think of some really bad porno where some dude naked slides down the slide. The sliding D.
That's what I think of too. And then
look at this. Everyone is just gonna fucking like, haha, they're gay.
Yeah, but Kairi Sane drop kicks into the barricade or the guardrails.
I think what sliding D, by the way, is supposed to mean is sliding discus.
Yeah, but still.
But they need to change that name.
Yeah. And then Kairi Sane gets ready to put Shayna Baszler away, but the referee gets distracted, and then Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke run out and interfere. They throw Kairi into the steps, and then Baszler puts her in the ring and does the Kira Fuda clutch, and Kairi Sane has to tap out, which makes sense because she's trying to keep her energy fresh because it's a 2 out of 3 falls match. She doesn't want to,
Yes.
Which I love that Nigel. Which was a great call by Nigel. He's the one that pointed that out.
Thank you, Nigel, for being as great as you are with Morrow.
Then Baszler continues to attack Kairi Sane. She gets her into the Kira Fuda clutch a second time, and this time, Kairi Sane reverses it into the roll-up, which I like that was a nice callback to when she won the title, but this time Baszler kicks out. She gets to the ropes this time, and then Kairi Sane starts to get on a roll again. Shayna Baszler goes for that, gut wrench off the turnbuckle, but Kairi Sane counters it into a sunset flip powerbomb. She hits 3 interceptors in a row. 2 sliding Ds in a row. Stop that. And then she fights off, Duke and Shafir. She hits the elbow.
She hits the elbow on all 3.
And then she puts Baszler in the ring, hits the insane elbow, and gets the second fall. And then Kairi Sane continues the attack, and the match goes back and forth. And then Duke and Shafir continuously interfere, and it leads to Dakota Kai, which made sense because she had a history with Shayna Baszler, and she takes out, I believe, Duke with a wicked big boot. But since it's 2-on-1, they still beat up Dakota Kai. And then Io Shirai, who was fairly new to the to WWE, she had just competed in the Mae Young Classic of this year and nearly won the thing, comes out and hits an Ariha moonsault on all three women because, Dakota Kai just was friendly fire since she was kind of in the waylay.
The waylay? You mean the melee?
Melee. And then Kairi Sane tries to win again with the insane elbow, but Shayna Baszler counters it and turns it into a crucifix pin, and the referee counts 3, and Shayna Baszler wins and retains the title. Now everyone's gonna say, why do you like this so much? If they did this on the main roster, you'd be blasting it. Well, I'll tell you why, because the NXT does these finishes, and it's all over the main roster. So
exactly, it actually feels fresh.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And by the way, the waylay, melee, potato. No, potato, tomato.
I don't know. Now, see, you walked yourself into that one. So
potato. But
it made sense for Baszler to win because you don't want to flip flop. You didn't want to flip flop the championship too much.
No, yeah, exactly. You need to do the thing where you keep the belt on for as long as you can. And in fairness, I think that's probably Shayna Baszler's best match. Honest to God.
I think I like the match she had with Io Shirai.
True, yeah. So notice how it's anything with a Joshi.
Yeah. I mean, it's not nothing bad. Like, she's had some still awesome matches. I mean, she's really only wrestled, though, the Joshis, really, to be honest.
Other than Mia.
Yeah. But, like, this match I gave 3 3/4 stars. I thought it was very good.
It was a very, very good match.
And then, as for where they are now, Shayna Baszler's still holding on to that title today. She just recently, with the combine of her 2 title reigns, broke. She's now the longest reigning cumulative NXT Women's Champion with the overall reigns. So not singles yet. I think she's got to get through like January, which she might. You never know. And
at this point, I'm calling it.
I think it should just happen at this point. Maybe that's why they don't want to drop the title yet, because they wanted to break, become the longest reigning champion. A lot of people are mad about that.
Yeah, I like this match a lot. Actually, I'm giving it 4 1/4.
What you like? So yeah, you can give it any additional thoughts you have about it then, since you rated it higher than me.
Everything about it was so good. Anytime these two are in the fucking ring, it's great.
Yes.
But except for the Mae Young Classic, but I think a lot of that had to do with the crowd. But no, they had a fucking killer match, and the whole chaos element of it with the horsewomen and Dakota Kai and Io Shirai trying to help out as well. I really just enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very, very much. So, and then, I like the falls. The falls made sense. The commentary was fucking on fire, making sure everything made sense as well. They carried this match just as much as the fucking athletes in the ring.
Absolutely.
So I thought this was a great match.
Awesome. Like I said, Shayna Baszler still holding on to the title. Her and Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir are still together. They tried to put Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke in the win, but it didn't really work too well in the beginning. So I think it's working better now because they're better wrestlers, but they're mainly just Shayna Baszler's lackeys, which I think is the best idea.
I agree.
Then Kairi Sane she formed a tag team with Io Shirai towards the end of her NXT days, and then got called up to the main roster. And obviously
with Asuka, which
that didn't start too well. They're doing fine now that they're heels, but I can't really comment too much because I've only really seen them heel twice, and it's been in NXT mainly. So,
the fact I wish they would be in NXT just so that way we could get Io Shirai leading them.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That'd be nice.
And then Dakota Kai shortly after this went out due to injury and just recently came back. And Io Shirai, basically the same thing in the beginning post, and then had those awesome matches with Shayna Baszler for the title, and then turned heel. And she's an awesome heel now. Like, she had a clinic with Candice LeRae, and what's it called? Not Tomano 2. And funny thing is now her and Baszler are going to be on the same team this year at War Games. So that's kind of cool.
So there you go.
There you go. Then we have, now I will warn you, there's a bit of a spoiler. The next 3 star ratings are all going to be the same. But this match might be personally my favorite match of the whole show.
Oh my god.
It's Johnny Gargano
fucking clinic.
It's Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black. So
this was fucking awesome. Johnny Gargano, this was his year, by the way. Had 5-star matches with Ciampa, Almas, Black, fucking Velveteen, Ono at one point. Got a fucking 5-star match out of him. He was on fire. On fire.
So we basically...
There's a reason he won the NXT title at New York, which I was live for. He had the fucking greatest year of any babyface in recent memory, other than maybe Cody.
Pretty much we've broken down the story. The only thing new we'll say is how just, like I said, it was awesome. It worked so well with Johnny Mike talked about recently how he wants to see like a different type of heel, and Johnny Gargano kind of was that different type of heel.
Yeah, he wasn't even a heel. He was more of an anti-hero kind of heel, where he was healed by necessity. And I actually, now that you bring that up, Mike did say that, and Gargano was the heel by necessity.
Yeah,
it was insane, and I love the promos he was cutting as a heel, thinking he was still the hero, even though what he did was so scummy.
Talked about too how like the fans were judging him even though he did one thing dirty, which was awesome. And like the reveal that happens when he actually is revealed to be the attacker of Aleister Black, when he like comes up out of nowhere and just super kicks him. Yeah, it's just it works so well. Like
Gargano's story is the greatest story ever told in NXT.
Yeah, like
it's the greatest story ever told.
Because before that too, we didn't even mention like he had been going insane after that feud with Ciampa, where he like could never could get rid of Ciampa, and also too it goes back because Johnny Gargano inadvertently even cost Ciampa to even win the title by interfering in the like the Aleister Black Tommaso Ciampa NXT title match by accident. So, they even have that storyline going on. And
it was, honest to God, like, I don't think they're... Like, it's such a long-term story with Gargano. Like, Gargano went into... He was a great babyface with Ciampa, and then Ciampa turned on him, and he went into this deep, dark abyss. And to the point where he turned into a bad guy, and then he turned on Ciampa, and Ciampa essentially in kayfabe injured Ciampa, finally getting his comeuppance in a sense.
Yep.
Took the belt away from him, and then Adam Cole got inserted into the mix, and then finally won the belt, and then forgave Ciampa after the fact.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, and everybody's like, well, I wish you could have had the final match, the final blow-off. And I'm like, I honestly, I think it was a blessing in disguise. I don't think you could have wrote a perfect ending if you tried.
Yeah.
You really couldn't have. I was there live, and I like, being there live was an experience all on its own. I was there live. I'm behind 2 kids, one with a Ciampa shirt and one with a Gargano shirt. And him and Ciampa hug, and then the kids are crying, and they hug, and I'm like, "Fuck, that's wrestling."
Yeah,
that's wrestling. Like,
you even forget it. You even forget it. Like one thing before that, like before he even like contended for the title, right after his team with Ciampa ended, he was like struggling to like be a single star, pretty much. Like
it
was just
he was in a darkest abyss ever. and he came out the other side champion, and this was the deepest part of that abyss.
Yeah. I think too
it was such a beautiful fucking crafted story.
The one best thing about the story is because why Kofi's still worked but didn't work is because Kofi stayed champion way too long. Gargano lost the belt like right after he won it. Like that's what makes the story so good. Because I feel like if he had stayed champion, like he would have gotten stale. Because usually when the chase is over, it made
like Kofi should have been a little bit longer. Like he should have had the match with Orton, then he should have lost it to Lesnar, but in a much better effort than they fucking did.
Yeah.
So
Then this match was so good because it was like Aleister Black too was just wanting to get revenge on Johnny Gargano for taking him out, costing him his rematch, basically injuring him. The match starts out right away, and Johnny Gargano is just his symbol too. You knew like he was a heel, like was more evil than it was like.
I love that little detail on it.
Yeah, and I
love that.
And it even shows he even thinks he's the hero because he comes out and he's like high-fiving people, and this time it works because he actually thinks he's like the hero. So it's like but he was he was like ridiculous. This match is ridiculously awesome. The match starts out. Aleister Black's trying to do whatever he can to get like quick strikes.
They stand like face to face with a seething stare by Aleister and Gargano talking trash. It slaps the taste out of his mouth too.
Yeah, and Gargano's just kind of like ducking these kicks. But eventually, like Aleister Black like hits one high kick like right on the outside, like right to Gargano's chest. It was pretty damn insane. And
was that during the suicide spot or a different spot?
This is a different spot. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Aleister Black just it was a fight right away too. Like they were brawling. There was no rest lock or any of that because it was so personal. Yeah. And a lot of people thought this feud needed a stipulation. Once you see the match, it didn't even need the stipulation. Like,
there was no need for the stipulation when these two started going.
Yeah, and then Johnny you see like a lot of them like having like a chess match with each other where Johnny Gargano's trying to play like mind games with Aleister Black, where he sits down crisscross applesauce and like Aleister Black's pose, and Black tries to take his head off, and Gargano tries to win with a fluke roll up, but it doesn't work. And you see Gargano hit like a wicked super kick. Aleister Black hits a Cabrana, and Gargano rolls out of the ring when he realizes he's getting his ass kicked. And he tries to do the mind games with him where he fakes a moonsault or something, and he does the crisscross applesauce, but Gargano just comes in the other side and hits a wicked super kick right to the side of the face, or the head anyways. Gargano's just dominating Aleister Black. He gets him into the Gargano escape at one point. Aleister Black counters it. You see like a suicide dive into like a high knee.
That's the spot for me that took it over the top. I'm like, holy shit!
You see Gargano suicide dive into the tornado DDT. You see Gargano, he'll go for the spear, but through the into the ring, but Black takes his head off with a wicked knee. You see a double knees by Gargano. You hit it, and then you see like a double knees from Aleister Black. Like, you really just need to go watch this match. It's so good. You even see like the one part where like Johnny Gargano,
he's begging for mercy. Please, I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry. Just finish me off.
Yeah,
finish me off.
He
goes for the black. He goes for the black mask. Gargano counters it into the Gargano escape.
Yep,
that was fucking great.
And then you see like Gargano like lift up Ciampa like he's gonna do the black mask, like, and mocking Aleister Black, and he takes his knee off like he's gonna do the super kick, and Aleister Black saying, "Come on, kick me." And he goes to do it, and Aleister Black ducks it. He tries to get a roll up win, but Gargano kicks out.
Yeah, and then he just gets caught with a black mass.
Yeah,
he crumples to the ground, and then he picks him up by his foot again, and then he grabs him by the face and he says, "I absolve you of your sins," and hits him with a second black mass to pin him and win the match. Oh my god! 5 fucking stars. Absolutely. I don't care. It's fucking tremendous.
Like, this match was fantastic. Like, it has everything. It's storyline, moves, this is awesome.
Storyline moves. There was a story behind the match. There was technical wrestling. There was a brawl.
There was a story.
It had the fucking dives. It had the fucking. Did I mention the story? Like, everything about this was fucking great. I was invested.
Yeah.
Here and now, as I was back then.
Yeah.
Fucking tremendous.
So yeah, we talked about kind of where gone. Now he's injured. We didn't say that. And then Aleister Black, went on to. They had a cage match too right after this where they reunited DIY too when they took out Black with the.
Yeah, which is nuts.
So it led to that. So this whole storyline led to the DIY reunion, and then Aleister Black went on to have his rematch for the title, but failed to win it. He formed the tag team with Ricochet. A lot of people thought that tag team was randomly thrown together, but if you watch the NXT with what they were doing, it really wasn't as thrown together as
everybody thought it was. Everybody was like it was thrown together because of main roster, and I'm like, no, they put this together in the May. I think the Dusty Classic.
Yeah. And then they won the Dusty Classic, and then obviously had the final match in NXT when they faced War Raiders for the titles in New York and lost, which made sense. Obviously.
Dude, they had what was it? I was pissed because I was thinking to myself, imagine if these guys were able to win all 3 titles.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Because they had a shot, they got the shot for the Raw tag team titles on. Monday. Then they had the NXT title match on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then I think they had the SmackDown tag team title match at Mania.
They should have won one of the matches at least.
Yeah. I wish they did.
And then afterwards they shortly broke them up in the doing the Superstar Shakeup, and unfortunately they don't know how to utilize Aleister Black, because I read online it's a character that Vince doesn't really know how to do because it's so new to him. So he just cuts promos now in a dark room, begging people to pick a fight with him, and that's his feuds and stuff now, which sucks. I mean, I get the character's so complex, but it's and I read online too, it's a character that USA and Fox really don't like, so that's why it's not getting over and such, but it's stupid.
Maybe because you turned him into a fucking satanic god, which is basically what he is.
Yeah.
Maybe if you fucking put him in NXT, maybe they'd like him more. Can you imagine that?
So it's sad. Then we had the next match. Great stuff. It was an NXT Championship match. NXT Champion Tommaso Ciampa versus the Velveteen Dream. Tommaso Ciampa was awesome as a heel. He was the most hated guy, and not just in WWE, in all of wrestling. People legitimately booed this dude. We talked about before. I was legitimately fearing for his life just because of how hated he was.
He was the most hated man in wrestling,
and. This obviously, this comes from that whodunit angle, because the Velveteen Dream blamed Tommaso Ciampa for doing it, since since him and Black had a history, and it would have been an easier path for Tommaso Ciampa to retain his championship. And then Tommaso Ciampa name dropped the Velveteen Dream, since they had a history with NXT Takeover Wargames the previous year. But it was also more than that. They both wanted to have the spotlight in NXT where the Velveteen Dream, that's basically his whole gimmick. And Tommaso Ciampa was the champion, and Velveteen Dream became #1 contender and laid out Tommaso Ciampa. And yeah, basically, this just the story wrote itself pretty much.
Yeah, 100%. This was such a great match.
This was right when
holy shit, this was a clinic in its own right.
We forgot to the Velveteen Dream too. This is when he had finally his face turned too. He turned face.
Hello. Ah, shit.
Left off.
Something about Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black or something. I don't know.
Oh. I was talking about this stuff. Tommaso Ciampa name dropped Velveteen Dream because of the history that him and Tommaso Ciampa had last year. And then obviously too, They were both upset with each other. They wanted to take each other's spotlight because that was basically Velveteen Dream's whole gimmick. And Tommaso Ciampa was the champion. He felt like he should have had the spotlight. And then I basically too.
This is a clinic in its own right. Honest to God, it was fucking great too. It's always great.
And then Velveteen Dream basically turned face in this feud because he was so over anyways, and he was going up against the biggest heel in NXT. They had to turn someone, and Velveteen Dream was the guy that turned.
And he was the right choice.
Yeah.
Holy shit, did they want him to win this belt? That crowd wanted Dream to win it.
So Velveteen Dream comes out, and he's out with the NWO black and white colors, which was awesome.
So cool.
I like to think he's taking ribs at Hulk Hogan because he's the one that eliminated him from Tough Enough to begin with. So.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And this was right before Hogan came back, so it was kind of funny.
How ironic is it that, oh my God, he got banned out of WWE for being a racist fuck, and he eliminated a black guy on Tough Enough, and that was his final appearance.
Yeah, right?
Holy shit, he's a fucking racist!
Yeah, but this match was just beyond awesome. They both start chain wrestling each other. They start playing mind games with each other, where, Velveteen Dream's playing mind games with him by, doing headlocks and grabbing the championship and, parading it around with the title. Tommaso Ciampa's playing mind games with him by taking his headband off and just throwing it. Master of the mind games right here.
Master.
Well, the guy behind me over here is the master of the mind games, but the close second. Then
they're playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Velveteen Dream gets the advantage throughout much of the beginning portion of this matchup. He starts doing Hulk Hogan's moves where he goes for the big boot, but then Ciampa rolls out of the ring, and he attacks Ciampa on the outside. He hits an axe handle smash on the outside. He throws him into the
Macho Man axe handle that he does too.
Yep. And then Ciampa pushes him off, and he lands back first on the apron. He destroys Velveteen Dream for the next several minutes. Just hits a wicked front suplex onto the table, and he hits a running knee while he's on the Spanish announcer's table because it's obviously never going to be the English one because whatever.
They don't like Spanish people. They're racist.
Yeah. And then just Tommaso Ciampa just eviscerates Velveteen Dream to the point where there's one of the headlocks that he's doing. Spit starts to come out of Velveteen Dream, and Tommaso Ciampa actually ends up rubbing it all over himself. It was pretty damn cool.
I hate spit.
He hits a running knee into the corner, and Velveteen Dream's just out.
I remember that. I don't want to talk about it.
Better than the dick spot. And then
you're not wrong, but still,
Tommaso Ciampa hits a running knee in the corner, and Velveteen Dream's just out, and now he's like, cover him, he's out, you could win it right here, but Tommaso Ciampa's not satisfied with any of that.
Because Ciampa was fucking brutal.
Yeah. Then Velveteen Dream gets back in control, and Ciampa goes to hit a blow right to the back. He hulks up and, beats the crap out of him, hits a big boot and 3 leg drops in a row. But Tommaso Ciampa still kicks out because, the leg drop is just a transitional move now. It's not as devastating as it was then. And then
been as devastating as it was back then either. What are you talking about? Dude, Dude, you want to know the weirdest fucking part of this?
What's that?
I was watching a match. We're talking about, since we're on the subject of Hogan, I saw a match between Hulk Hogan and the Great Muta. And Hogan could wrestle.
I hear that, yeah.
I was like, why? Oh my God, they were doing this whole fucking 5 moves of doom back then.
So, Velveteen Dream gets on a roll. He hits a wicked clothesline. He hits a Death Valley driver. And Tommaso Ciampa gets back on a roll. He hits a draping DDT, but Velveteen Dream kicks out, and he's just beating the crap out of Velveteen Dream. He hits a Project Ciampa. Velveteen Dream was working on the legs of Ciampa, and he gets him into a figure 4. And
How many fucking finishers did Ciampa have by this point? Like, honest to God, he had Project Ciampa, he had the fucking running knee strike, he had the fucking apron DDT, which I don't know what the fuck they call now.
Willow's
fairy tale ending.
Yeah. Which he never hits in this match. Velveteen Dream was working on the leg. And this ties in because, this was the leg that Ciampa had to go out to injury for, like, earlier last year. He gets him into the sharpshooter, but Ciampa gets to the ropes. And eventually, they fight onto the outside. And Velveteen Dream tackles Ciampa over the table. And this is that point that's in the live reactions. We had to go back and we watched it at the time it happened because we missed it. Tommaso Ranallo's like making calls like Velveteen Dream's got to get him back in the ring so he can win the title, and Ciampa gets pissed and like throws papers at Ranallo, and it was so great because Ranallo was like that person that even though he's play-by-play and tries to be fair, he hated Ciampa. Like
it was so good. He was so good in that role. It was just great.
Then Ciampa hasn't won at one point, but the referees, he thinks being slow to the count, and he's arguing with the ref, and Velveteen Dream just takes his head off with a super kick, tries to win with a roll-up, but Ciampa kicks out. And then Ciampa gets Death Valley Drive, but he was going to hit a fairy tale ending, a draping DDT onto the exposed...
Oh, yeah, this is the part where he hit the rolling Death Valley onto the fucking apron, right?
Onto the floor.
Right.
And then he hits the elbow, and also too before that he hit like a twisting DDT onto the title. And since he didn't,
I like that. Yeah, I really like that.
Since he didn't really use the championship, physically use the championship, it wasn't disqualification. But it impacted would be because Impact's stupid sometimes. Because it was a turning point this year. So, Velveteen Dream hits the purple rainmaker, but Ciampa kicks out. And then he goes for one on the floor, but he misses, and Ciampa moves out of the way, and he starts selling that. And eventually, he puts him back into the ring. And the whole night, since there were 2 wins, because Wargames was happening, there was this steel beam that held the ring.
Connected the 2 rings, and then he just hits his apron DDT and spikes Dream right on the top of his head, and swears because he's in such pain. Ah, fuck.
Yeah.
And then pins him 1, 2, 3. Fantastic.
1 3/4 stars. It was fantastic. And Ciampa retained the title, and afterwards he looks into the camera and says I'm the top draw or something in NXT, which was great.
How ironic is it? How ironic is it that the two crazy bastards, Tommaso Ciampa and Sami Callihan, who have been friends for years, were calling themselves the Draw back then?
Yeah, right. Tommaso, obviously, Velveteen Dream continued his face run. He shortly afterward, he was actually inserted into the feud with him and Gargano because when Gargano won the North American title,
he wanted him instead of Ciampa. Instead of Ciampa, and beat Johnny Gargano to win his first championship. Then he retained against Matt Riddle, and then eventually lost it to Roderick Strong. And now Roddy's the champ.
And now he's injured. He's probably not coming back till January. Tommaso Ciampa, stayed the heel champion until earlier in the year because he got it. I'm assuming his injury was lingering for a while. If it I would be shocked if he didn't get injured if he didn't start doing this match with the weight he was taking. He just recently returned, and I think he's better as a heel. But obviously, because of his story, he can't be a heel right now, and obviously because of everything going on. But he's still. I'm not saying he's not a bad baby face. It's so weird to see him as a face now after watching the show. And this is when, too, I should mention, too, Tommaso Ciampa got the theme song that he had now, because at one point, Ciampa just had no music.
Oh, yeah, true.
So, he, just got it. And, Tommaso Ciampa is in Wargames this year. And
he's captaining the team
of
Dominic Dijakovic and Keith Lee, and a fourth to be determined because Riddle got inserted out. And he'll be taking on the Era.
There you go. So yeah, this match was fantastic.
Jesus Christ, the Era's got a fucking night, huh?
Yeah. They have a weekend. Like, they have to...
Just the week. How about the week?
Yeah.
They have to face the Revival. They have to face the fucking Viking Raiders on the New Day. They have to fight fucking in War Games.
AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Roger Strong have to do.
Shinsuke Nakamura with Roddy in there. Oh my god.
Adam Cole.
Fucking Cole decided to put the NXT belt on the line against whoever won the triple threat. Everybody is like in the Undisputed Era is like.
Maybe this is all William Regal's plan. And to just make him have a tough week. Just like.
Dude, I hope my prophecy comes true. It probably won't, but I'd love to hear. At War Games, I will mark the fuck out.
Then we had the main event of this show.
Holy shit.
So many storylines in this.
Well, we didn't give our star rating, or I didn't.
Oh, yeah, I thought you did. I give it
5.
4.
It's a 5.
Alright, then we had the Undisputed Era versus Ricochet. It's so good to say this again. The War Raiders and Pete Dunne in War Games.
Yeah.
So many storylines from this match. So obviously the spirals down from a year ago when Undisputed Era went into War Games and won, minus Roderick Strong because he wasn't in the group yet.
Yes.
But I think they still count as a win. It's like, okay, you could still, since you're in the group, you won too. Like, just being nice. Even though he was on the losing team. Even though he was on the losing team last year, they're just being nice. And the feud continued even from that. There's so many feuds in this match, like when Roderick Strong turned on Pete Dunne and joined the Era. Him and Pete Dunne were just engaged in this war, and the Undisputed Era were like facing like British Strong style and lost the NXT tag titles to like Mustache Mountain. Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong were put on clinics. So they were really tough. Pete Dunne hated the Undisputed Era. The War Raiders had just come into NXT, and
and not only that, I mean, you also had Bobby Fish came back.
Yep, and he cost the War Raiders the tag titles by cracking them over the back with a steel chair when they were facing Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. So that's his inclusion. Adam Cole and Ricochet were just on a feud. Adam Cole, when he became the first NXT North American champion, knocked Ricochet off the ladder, and then Ricochet beat him for the championship. And then they were, they had that big brawl on like NXT where everyone just
how about that triple threat between Ricochet, Dunne, and Cole?
They were telling the story too that like since the Era had won War Game and they were a more affordable team, there was no way that like Dunne, Ricochet, and the War Raiders could work together since, Dunne and Ricochet had, like, past history since they had that, like, champion versus champion match.
Yes.
And Kyle O'Reilly beat Hanson on
Oh, yeah, because that was during Pete Dunne's monster run with the fucking UK title.
Yeah. But Kyle O'Reilly beat Hanson. It's good to say that name again. And NXT. To get the man's advantage, and they had that big blow, and Pete Dunne's leg got hurt doing that, so that was being told into the story. There's so many things, just like months of storyline were all being culminated with this match right here.
Yes,
so it was awesome,
and it was great.
So we had the match. I'm going to read off the rules because the first time they did it, it was different. So I will read off the rules. I took a picture of it via my cell phone. I'm trying to find it because my phone does the pain in the ass thing where it puts it into groups, and I hate that. Okay. So the rules of War Games. So 2 teams will be contained in separate cages with 1 member of each team starting the match. After 5 minutes, a member from Undisputed Era will be released to enter the match, and then obviously vice versa. Well, actually, no. Then after a 3-minute period, alternate members from each team will enter the match until all competitors are inside the cage. Once all competitors have entered, War Games officially begins. I like this stipulation because I always wonder why this ever happens. escape or leave the cage, you forfeit the match for your team. I think they had to add this because they wanted to put the roof on.
Yeah.
But Vince said no, so they had to put this stipulation in since they didn't have a roof. And then the only way to win the match is by pinfall or submission. Yeah, let's talk about the match. Adam Cole and Ricochet started, which made sense since they were like the team leaders. I like the little touch that they had where Ricochet and Pete Dunne had like the face paint War Raiders style, which was cool.
I love that.
And they go at it. Adam Cole is challenging Ricochet to come to the other side of the ring. So that happens. They brawl. Ricochet gets the advantage. He hits a Hurricane and then a drop kick, and he dives over to the other side. He goes for some type of like back soup dive on the off the turnbuckle, but Adam Cole catches him into a backstabber. Adam Cole starts picking him apart. He grinds his face to the cage. He throws him into the cage. Eventually, Ricochet gets the advantage, and he hits like some type of leap and drop kick. And then the next entrant comes out, and it's Kyle O'Reilly. And Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole just pick apart Ricochet. They destroy him. And that was basically the format throughout the match. Anytime like a new team member came in, that team would get the advantage. But I'll still, continue to break it down. Kyle O'Reilly was hitting some wicked kicks right onto Ricochet.
Oh, yeah, these kicks were fucking brutal.
Then the next entrant was, and they really tied in how like the team of Ricochet, War Raiders, and Pete Dunne weren't vulnerable because they couldn't even decide. Like anytime that the cage would open, they were like fighting to get out, which was cool.
Yeah, I like that.
And I believe the next entrant was Ray. Whoa. See, I can never get the name right. I call him Ray. I call him Whoa. I don't call him Eric ever, but
Yeah, right.
And Ray to start Whoa starts taking out both members of O'Reilly and Cole. He hits a ton of power moves. Or was it Hanson, the next guy that came out? No, I think it was Hanson, actually.
It was Hanson. Hanson was the one that does the cartwheel.
Yeah, so he actually
did the cartwheel spot, and then he did a fucking kick, and it was cool.
Yep, so they dominate. I believe he throws O'Reilly like spine first into the cage, and then he throws him over the cage, which was awesome. And then Roderick Strong comes out next, and this was awesome. He destroyed, Ricochet and Hanson. Hits a backbreaker and just basically Roderick Strong
became the messiah of the backbreaker in this match.
And he hits high knees into the corner. Just basically running wild. Then Rowe comes in, and the War Raiders
fucking showed some great athleticism in his own right.
He hits a power slam, power bomb combination on Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, which was cool. And they throw like Ricochet over, and he lands on everybody. Then next is Bobby Fish. And Bobby Fish, before he gets into the ring, now it made sense for Bobby Fish to be out last, I think, because I think he was still recovering from his injuries, so they didn't want him.
The funniest thing is they went with the last two being the very injured guys.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm scared.
Yeah. So he takes his lock and locks Pete Dunne in his cage. Pete Dunne tries to like break his fingers to prevent him from doing it, but Kyle O'Reilly kicks his bad leg. And basically, Pete Dunne's locked in there, which was really smart by the era. And Kyle O'Reilly grabs
Bobby Fish.
Bobby Fish grabs a ton of Undisputed Era style steel chairs, and the Undisputed Era just destroy the War Raiders and Ricochet with these steel chairs.
Fucking annihilate them with these chairs, man.
Roderick Strong hits a Uranagi into a backbreaker.
Oh, that was bad.
And I think he hit that on Ricochet because that makes the most sense.
Yeah, because he'd sell it.
Yeah. Like, well, I don't think he's able to do it to any members of the War Raiders because they're big. So, they just destroy the War Raiders and Ricochet, and they're taunting Pete Dunne, and it's time for Pete Dunne to come in, and the referee is able to unlock his lock, but they don't have the key because Bobby Fish threw it into the crowd. And I made the joke back then, what if like a fan caught the key and tried to rush to the ring to like hand over the key? What would they do then? So,
oh my God, right?
Pretty much the refs go backstage.
You gotta imagine who was the lucky bastard that got that key, I wonder.
Yeah, right. I just always ask that question. What if like the fan was like a good Samaritan and tried to jump the barricade so he can unlock the door?
Oh my God! Imagine if he believed that it was real. It's still real to me, damn it, key. Yeah.
And it actually makes it and ends up unlocking the door and ruins like their plans.
Yeah, right.
But anyhow, so eventually they just keep destroying War Raiders and Ricochet, and then the taunting.
And then Adam Cole just goes, "Hey, Dunne! We own this place now!" And I'm like, I love Adam Cole. He's such a good heel.
And then, right after, not even like 2 seconds after he says this, then the refs come up with the bolt cutters, and then Cole's like regretting all his life choices.
And the funniest thing is about this is, so Dunne has a noticeable fucking limp, dude.
Yep.
He's limping. Like, I think this is during the time he had that minor injury. Yeah. And he was trying to power through it because he's like, I ain't giving this fucking belt up until Walter comes in, dude. There's no way. I have to beat Walter. I have to lose to Walter. That's how you do business the right way.
I think that's why, like, he didn't wrestle, like, that much when he was, like, champion. Like, the first set of tapings that NXT UK had.
Because he couldn't.
Yeah.
He would have been fucked up. But yeah, no, oh my Lord. So yeah, I was scared for not only him but Bobby Fish because like they were heavily taped.
I forgot to mention too, when Fish came into the match before all this happens, like there's a spot like where like they like throw someone into the cage and he like collapses, like his knee like gave out. I was scared when that happened. I remember being so scared when that happened at the time.
Yeah,
like,
no, it was just him selling, and I'm like, you fucker.
Like,
don't scare me like that.
But you know, the rest of the Arrow try to keep the door closed so Pete Dunne can't get in. But Pete Dunne grabs a kendo stick and he just hits, I think, like Fish and O'Reilly with the kendo stick. And
100 times, yeah.
You know, he pulls out a ton of weapons. He grabs a trash can, I think 2 of them, 2 tables, and Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and the War Raiders just destroy the Arrow for the next several minutes with just a ton of weapons.
Oh my God! There was at one point where Hanson, oh my God, fucking does a double springboard from both rings through the table.
Yep.
Holy shit! I remember we fucking went nuts in the reactions.
I remember there's a spot where like every member of each team's like surrounding the Arrow like with weapons and they just destroy them.
Oh my God, I love that spot. Yeah.
And Pete Dunne just has a chain and he's just attacking him. Ricochet like leaps over, gets thrown over the thing again and takes down all members of the Arrow and such.
Oh yeah.
100%. And Kyle O'Reilly spears roll through a table. And there's a spot too. This is still nasty, where it's right when Pete Dunne's in there, and he takes Kyle O'Reilly's like arm and he stomps it like in between like that metal steel. That's
God, yeah. Oh, that was brutal.
Yeah. Damn. Pete Dunne's trapped in like a submission. Like it's like it's a triangle choke with the chain. And eventually he gets out of it.
Yeah, that was brutal too. I forgot about that.
And there's one thing I love. They had some callbacks from the first one. Like in the first War Games match, Kyle O'Reilly tries to hit someone with a chair, and it bounces off of his head. This time he, made sure that didn't happen and stopped himself this time, which I liked.
Love that callback.
Yeah. Ricochet does a 450. Hanson hits a splash, and I think he puts like Kyle O'Reilly through the table because he gets like Ricochet into a triangle choke, and he has to let go, and it's too late for him to like really move out of the way.
Yeah, like Hanson and Rowe got injured in this match, I remember, too.
Yeah, it was probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it was from going through the tables.
Yeah, probably.
And Adam Cole hits a wicked bicycle kick, setting a chair right into Ricochet's face.
Yeah.
The War Raiders do the. They hit the thing where picks him up and he does like a assisted hip attack while Adam Cole's face is in the trash can.
That was great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was fucking great.
Just basically, we'll be here for days if we try to break down like every little spot that happens in War.
Well, yeah. So let's get towards the ending spots.
Yeah.
So there's a Tower of Doom spot. So Adam Cole and Ricochet are both brawling on top of the cage because Cole tried to run away like a bitch.
Well, actually, they said that probably didn't happen. They said Nigel. I think Nigel points out that maybe Adam Cole went up there to lure Ricochet up there so they could like throw him out of the cage. Because that way.
Oh yeah, I remember because he was marking out. He's like,
yeah.
"This is genius. Tell me I'm a liar."
I remember we laughed at this at the time too when Nigel was like marking out. I believe in love. Yeah.
That was hysterical, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, then
and then they were able to bring Ricochet back up, and then the Tower of Doom. This may be the greatest Tower of Doom spot in the history of wrestling.
Yeah.
Because it was like I don't know how many moves were being executed at once, but it all just came crashing down into the ring.
Except Ricochet.
Ricochet was still up top there. Everybody just crashed down. I can't remember like all the moves, but watch the Tower of Doom. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
And then the spot of the match.
Yep.
Everybody's down, and we're like, no, he's not gonna do this. He's not gonna fucking do this. 630 moonsault from the top of the fucking cage onto everybody. The crowd loses their fucking minds.
And we talked
Morrow's having a conniption fit on commentary. We're losing our minds, and the reactions. Oh my god! I thought he was gonna die.
Yeah, well, that's one thing we want to talk about too. If he jumped like 3 inches further, he would have gotten like extremely injured. Like he would have missed everybody. Like
God, it was like he was dangerously close.
Yeah, like
and then they all try to gain they all try to gain their wits about them. They all get up.
Yep.
And then they meet each other on the steel beam and they just start beating the fucking piss out of each other. Both teams going at it. The crowd's going nuts. Move after move after move after move after move, and then Pete Dunne with the bitter end finally on Adam Cole. Yep. And then a shooting star press out of fucking nowhere, out of frame by Ricochet. 1, 2, 3. Team Ricochet and Dunne win the match.
Yeah.
Fuck.
One thing too, that face-off you just talked about too would get used for like months in the NXT intro too. Like
as it should.
Yeah.
That's like such an iconic shot.
Yeah. And then
it's just sad that Ricochet would be called up later.
Yeah. But then afterwards
and then War Raiders too.
Yeah. Afterwards, Pete Dunne and Ricochet have like a face-off.
On top of the cage too.
Yeah. And that's one thing that's disappointing out of all of. I mean, this is because of NXT UK. Pete Dunne, we never got like the match between Ricochet and Pete Dunne, the rematch for it, which I feel like we should have gotten.
Imagined Pete Dunne be a dual champion.
That would have been awesome. Then, as for the match, by the way, I should say first, is 4 3/4.
I'm giving it 5. If I gave it 4 3/4 back then, I don't know what the fuck I was smoking. I enjoyed this so much.
Yeah, it was. A lot of people are gonna be mad because our bias is showing through the show because we just gave such high ratings for this, like 3 matches on this show. Like
It was fucking great.
Then
it was such a great show.
The aftermath. Let's start with the era because it's easier, and you can just break it down.
They fulfilled the prophecy and won all the gold.
Yep. Adam Cole became the NXT champion.
Roddy became North American champion, and Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish won the tag team titles, and Kyle O'Reilly made history by becoming the first ever 3-time tag team champion ever. Even though that's a lie.
I think it's 4.
No, it's 3. They say 3, but that's kind of a lie. It's actually 2.
Why 2?
Well, because remember, they did the Freebird rule here.
Yeah.
So he won the tag titles originally. Bobby Fish went down with an injury, but he was still the champion going into the match in the triple threat with the AOP and Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong when Roddy turned on Dunne.
Yeah.
Then he was still the champion. He successfully retained, along with Adam Cole, who was his partner. Then he joined up with Roddy as the team, but he never lost the championship.
Yeah, he did.
That's when.
Because remember, Mustache Mountain won him in...
right. I didn't account for that.
Yeah. So...
I was so confused because I thought that's what they were referencing.
No, because Mustache Mountain won him.
I stupid.
And then they won him back like 2 weeks later. So.
Yeah, there you go. Whoosty.
But yeah, so they fulfilled the prophecy, which is, and Undisputed Era was like taking over NXT. There were going to be more games again.
And WWE.
Yeah, they're going to be in War Games again this year. As for everybody else in the opposing team, we'll start with the War Raiders, because that's the easiest one. They went on to win the NXT tag titles at NXT TakeOver Phoenix. And then I think they're the only team to go undefeated in NXT, because I don't recall them losing ever.
Nope, never lost.
So that's good, I guess. But then on the main roster ruined them. I don't know. Everyone's gonna say, well, they look really dominant now. They're the Raw Tag Team Champions. They're ruined.
Did they? Are they still undefeated? I don't even know.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, there you go. I mean,
at least there's that. But
no, they lost at Crown Jewel, didn't they? Crown Fools.
Oh, they did. Yes.
Hi.
But yeah, they're being booked, I think, abysmally. They can't use their name.
Now they're the Viking Raiders, originally the Viking Experience, and now that's the name of their finisher!
And then Hansen's now Ivar, and Rowe is now Eric. So, there you go.
So angry still about that.
Ricochet probably... Then Ricochet went on to lose the North American title to Johnny Gargano. He had the tag team with Aleister Black, and then he went on to Raw. He's been used actually not that bad compared to all the NXT call-ups. He got to have...
Yeah, but now they've treated him like he's some fucking superhero, even though that's not how he was really treated.
And then if you listen, I don't know if you listen to his promos, they're awful now.
Of course they are, because they're scripted. Everybody's promos are awful when they script them.
And then Pete Dunne is probably being booked the best out of the whole team.
He is nonchalantly breaking fingers and going...
Yeah. According to NXT UK, British Strong Style was dead, though, because they kept tell us that all the time.
Yeah, because he lost the title to Walter.
And then,
shortly after Imperium was a thing.
Yeah. And then they're Imperium killed, British Strong Style, even though Pete Dunne is probably having, Bond burners on NXT for the time.
Every week, almost.
And Tyler Bates, was put on clinics on NXT, too.
There you go.
I mean, Trent Seven's the only one that's going to be on a live episode of NXT 1 week. To be real, British Strong Style should just...
But he even had a killer match with Noam Dar recently, so...
Yeah, so...
They're not dead!
British Strong Style, honestly, should all just leave UK and just go to NXT.
Yeah, please.
Especially, I think... maybe not Tyler Bate, but, Trent Seven just needs to get off there. He's not being used that well, I don't think.
No.
But yeah, that's everyone. The most successful out of Team Ricochet, I think, is Pete Dunne, honestly.
There you go.
And then who would you say is the most successful out of the era? That's a tough one.
They're all successful. If they have all the gold, they're all successful.
There you go.
I mean, by default, I guess Cole, because Cole, he's beaten. He beat Velvet. No, not Velveteen. He beat Gargano. He beat Daniel Bryan for the NXT belt. He beat Rollins for the NXT belt.
No, they had Rollins win by disqualification.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Of course. Why would they?
You love it.
But at least he's winning. So there's that. And he had barn burners with them, I'm sure. So
yes.
There you go.
Alright, so now we gotta grade the show.
Well, this is easy. We didn't have the S rank back then.
Yeah, so now we have it.
I'm rating it an S.
Yeah, now we have the S rank.
There you go. So now an S. It improved from an A+ to an S, probably.
Yeah. Everything's just awesome on the show. Commentary, matches, everything.
Yeah, the show was pretty much flawless.
One other thing that happened.
Awesome squashes, too. So.
One other thing that happened is Kathy Kelly interviewed Triple H on Facebook Live, where we just went through the whole card. I like those because he talks about it like he's happy in like a kayfabe way, which is cool. So it's cool.
There you go.
He was a proud NXT dad. So
he's a proud papa.
Yeah. Now we have the next pick. It's Chris Dodd's pick now, and believe it or not, this is his pick. I mean, we're doing it, but it's like I don't know why. All Elite Wrestling Dynamite Episode 2. That's his pick.
And it's no secret. When life gets hectic.
Like.
No. Okay. I at least no. Chris, listen to me here, dude. No. I refuse. Okay? I know you were there live, but I waited a fucking year almost to review last year's Wargames. You need to wait a year before you review a fucking show. You can't just be like, Elite Wrestling, Episode 2. You gotta wait. You gotta be patient. Pick something else.
You don't have to be on it. Like,
what the fuck? Why is he doing this? Why?
So I tell him right now you gotta pick a new retro.
Please.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, it's way too new. Like,
yeah.
What's that? October? It was October. Like, this was a month ago.
I'm telling him right now, yeah. See if I can.
Christ. What the fuck, man?
Like that.
Oh, dude, Only Wrestling Dynamite Episode 2. Fuck you. You're going to wait a year just like everybody else. Oh, fuck. If he doesn't do it, we're having Mike pick a retro. That's it.
Actually, what is it? Can you get a hold of Mike right now?
I probably. Hold on.
Pick a so if he can pick any show he wants that we haven't done already.
What about poor Chris?
Well,
he needs to at least have a chance.
All right, let's see if he gets a chance. Because that's too new.
Okay, well, either way, Mike can still have a pick, and he'll pick it now since Chris kind of flubbed up his pick for now. But if Chris picks a different pick, then he'll go next, and then Mike will go after him. So I'm going to add him to the call anyway. Let's see.
If he gets
I cannot believe we're literally calling Mike because of, I want to do All Elite Wrestling Dynamite Episode 2. What the fuck? Get out of here. Get out of here. Whoa.
You should have seen my reaction when he said
to review that Wargames.
You should have seen my reaction. Oh, here he is.
Dude, okay. I'm calling you. You're on recording right now. You're not gonna believe this shit. So we're doing the retro right now. it's supposed to be Chris's pick. You know what he picked for a retro?
What?
All Elite Wrestling Dynamite Episode 2.
That's stupid. That's not even
I
wrestling.
know. I know. So
Breaking?
yeah. So I'm calling you because we need a new retro pick, and Chris pretty much flubbed up his. If he gives us a new pick that was like old enough to do it, then he can go, and then you'll go after him. But
what have you guys already reviewed?
All right,
let me go through.
We just reviewed.
Let me go through the playlist.
We just finished up Wargames from last year.
So do you want to do something classic or something kind of new?
Well, define classic. Are we talking about the 80s into the 2000s or 80s into the 2010s? Even though there wasn't many classics.
80s to the 2000s?
All right. Well, Owen, read the playlist stuff.
Hold on, it's taking a bit. So this is what Chris Dodd does. He threw us off. Like we were on a good stride.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm trying to find the retro because I have so.
I can literally just pull up the playlist. Fuck it.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Hold on.
All right. Well, hurry up.
I'm trying. It takes forever to find.
It's your fault, Chris. God damn it.
Oh wait, he picked Survivor Series 2017.
Okay, so he'll go, and then Mike, you'll still have a pick after the fact.
Yeah.
Because we kind of have you on anyway, but
okay. Question: have you boys reviewed anything ECW besides One Night Stand?
No.
We reviewed One Night Stand. I thought we reviewed 98. He Wave 98.
Well, I feel that was everything that we didn't. Since this is kind of revamped though, so.
This is a revamped series. So yeah,
So I would recommend Barely Legal 97.
There we go. We haven't done that.
Okay, perfect. That's your pick.
Which means that you have Taz versus Sabu, which is one of the fucking best matches I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
It's super good.
So after Survivor Series 2017,
oh no, it's 17.
Yep. So you know
No, that's the one with Braun Strowman, right? Making Triple H scared for his fucking life.
Yep.
It's also really shitty because that whole card's fucking terrible.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's what he wanted. So.
Well, I won't be on for that, but at least he has his pick.
Yep.
Hey, let me know if you guys need help with the ECW Barely Legal review.
You have to be on because it's your pick. But
yeah, when it's your pick, you have to be on. So
I'm gonna pick the good ones, not the shitty ones. I'm not gonna pick the poopy ones.
I'm with you on that one.
Well, you got to do the bad ones too. You can't, you gotta.
Well, I mean, but you have to pick the hilariously bad ones. The Survivor Series 2017 was not hilariously bad.
So.
It's not like SummerSlam like 92 level of like hilarious.
You won by count out.
But yeah, that's a new term from now on. You have to wait. So for now,
you have to wait at least a year before you can call it retro. It doesn't work that way. Like, what the fuck?
I guess because like the concept of retro is anything after 5 years. To be 100%.
I mean, yeah, but in ours, it's just like.
Yeah.
Wait a
year.
It
can't be retro then because it's not.
It's retro and not. It's more retro than fucking picking All Elite Wrestling Dynamite Episode 2. Like, because he was there live, so he's like, I want to watch it again on TV. No, you wait a year like everybody else.
Right. Like this, because this was retro enough. Because like.
So you're saying Chris is being a fuckboy?
Yes.
Yeah. I guess I got the whole. I think I got the whole joke when you said, "Damn it, Owen, you said anything." Like.
Well, yeah, but shit.
I didn't mean a show that happened What, like a month ago? Like,
yeah, it was literally a month ago. That ain't retro, dude. That's like yesterday.
yeah. Anyhow, we'll end off the video.
Yeah. Mike, since you're on here, you could get off right away. Do you have anything to plug?
What were you guys reviewing anyway?
NXT TakeOver War Games from last year, which was a fucking fantastic card.
Yeah, it was all right.
I enjoyed it.
It's not something I would go home with, but it was all right.
I loved it because I've been following the story of Gargano. So
well, plus too, like it is retro enough because a lot's happened since that show too. So
yeah, including a bunch of guys that got sadly buried when they got called up. But that's beside the point.
The entirety of NXT going into WWE.
Yeah.
Except
anyway, do you have anything else to say, or are you all set?
No, I mean, unless you guys want me to plug something in, I guess I will. But, I mean, I don't really have too much to add into it.
All right, well, what do you have to plug? We'll have you plug your stuff first.
T-shirt, Twitter, I guess Insta, even though I don't use either Twitter or Insta. Have fun.
Yep.
I watch WIW. If you don't, then I'll come to your house and shit in your dog. I will shit in your dog. In him or her.
I almost passed out.
Your animals mean nothing to me. They are just toilet shit in. We are the people you ought to respect, son.
Up yours.
The greatest.
Right, I'll talk to you, man. You can go now. Bye.
And always remember that you can't spell nutrition without nut.
Right, Cole? Talk to you, man. Hello? You can go.
Yeah?
You can go.
Okay, I'll leave.
If you want to go, you can go. I'm just saying, unless you want to stay for the end.
I'll stay for the end. I'm already on the phone. Fuck it. I don't care.
That's why I was confused.
My affected.
I thought you were gonna just like say that, and then because I was expecting you to just like do the whole thing on the AEW state of the address. Something crack is whack.
You cannot do the same joke twice. It's just
my point is, I thought that's what you were doing with your joke that you just told now, and I thought you were just gonna leave after that.
Because you do not do the same joke twice.
I see.
Unless you're a stand-up comedian on the road, that's your excuse. That's fine. But no, if you are good enough at your job, you don't need to say the same joke twice.
Fair enough. Okay.
Wait, so if Mike's not, so we
I'll plug the shit next. Okay. You guys can find me on YouTube. That is now going to become a hub. For those who don't know, if you tune in to what we've done on the No DQ channel, Aaron Rift is calling an end to 3 different shows: NXT, What's NXT, NXT Party, and 205 Live Matters. So those will be on my channel now. Along with that will probably be a host of other shows. And Chris Mace's NWA Power is probably going to be on there. I'm going to talk with him about that, but that's going to become a central hub for a bunch of different single wrestling reviews. So it's not like a whole collage. So that's going to be like a hub of a bunch of different things. Mainly because I want to post content on there, but on top of this, creating content here, doing WYW stuff, school, and doing the RWA stuff that's over in Cali, I've literally gotten like no time. So that's going to be my way to give content to you guys and introduce you to people. So stay tuned on that one. That's youtube.com/user/JHEBERTSIDE95. Also follow me on Twitter at JHebertSide95. And hopefully Indie Force will also be back on that channel as well. I don't know when we're going to come back with that, but I'm hoping at some point during Thanksgiving break. So expect an episode around that time. No, not on Thanksgiving, because we're going to be eating food and talking with fam. But, we'll be doing something, I'm sure, Thanksgiving weekend where we just talk about the news and start the new format of the Indie Force. On top of that, as Mike said, follow Weymouth Youth Wrestling. Follow this channel, obviously. I just plugged it. After this show, you will be seeing rundown. I forget what episode we're at. The recent rundown, whatever the fucking episode number it is. I can't be asked to check right now.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the rundown afterwards will be the War Games 2019 review. I don't know who will be on for that, but I know people will be on for that, I'm sure. And yeah, stay tuned, click the bell, do that thing. And finally, check out Royalty Wrestling Alliance, Facebook.com, and search ROYALTY Wrestling Alliance. And that's everything, I think.
You think that's
Oh,
a good...
no, their Instagram too.
Oh, yeah.
Same
Royalty
thing.
Royalty Wrestling _RWA, I believe.
Yeah. And the Weymouth Youth Wrestling Instagram page, but I'm assuming, you know.
Well, that will be in. I mean, yeah, I guess I should plug those. If you want to follow Weymouth Youth Wrestling on any other social media, follow it on Twitter at Weymouth Youth TC and on Instagram at Weymouth Youth Wrestling. And I don't think we gave the link for the. I don't think we gave the link for the YouTube channel. YouTube.com/user/WYW Pride. That should be all the links you need.
There you go.
Everything else is in the description.
Yeah.
Click on one of the videos. Do it.
So yeah, like I said, down below too, if you want to go watch ourselves from a year ago, we yak and review the War Game show.
Oh yeah, that will be on my channel. That will be in the description below if you want to see those.
And then you know, the rundown that we did with you, and it's on the CM Brothers channel, because, you know, YouTube was being a bitch and wouldn't let me live stream for that amount of time.
Yes.
You know, obviously this channel for other things like
speak nice of your overlords.
obviously other things like, you know, the rundown for this week. We're gonna have, you know, predictions for War Games, you know, review for the War Games. We'll probably be including Survivor Series in there since, you know, we're watching it in support of NXT, which, you know, scary because I'm scared NXT is gonna get made to look weak. I'm scared.
What do you mean?
And then,
yeah,
you know, you might see other videos. At some point, me and James plan on putting back the fantasy booking series because, you know, we're not.
And that might have an intro too, but it will be a short intro. And yeah, you'll see that. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Because it's not. We've only done like 3 videos.
We still have to do the ECW one, don't we? Shit.
Yeah,
I'm right here for you, boys, if you need me.
Yeah, I'll let you know because we're probably gonna need your help for that.
And then, you know, afterwards, you can check out the CM Brothers channel so you can watch the rundown that we did at the time for the NXT TakeOver War Games, and then all other present videos, and then on the Talkinator. No idea when I'll be coming back because, like I said before, my cousin lost his Skype, and because he updated.
Was his Skype broken like Steve Coakley's?
Not like Steve Coakley, but I guess he tried reinstalling it and he can't open it now, so it's all types of messed up.
$8 billion company.
Yeah. And
Hey,
I don't know if you remember this.
Just go to Discord. Speaking of which, you can follow the WIW Discord in the link below.
There you go.
Yeah.
Don't you guys have a Twitch account too?
Yeah, we have a Twitch account. Again, you just it's in the description on one of our videos on the YouTube link. So just go there. Yeah.
I think that's all the plugs. That's the most thing we've ever plugged.
There you go. And do your outro stings.
Yeah, just you know, enjoy NXT TakeOver War Games. Hopefully you've watched the show before you watch this video, because if you didn't, sorry, I guess. You should have clicked off the video.
It's been a year. It's been a year. If they haven't seen it in a year, it's their own fucking fault.
Yeah. And obviously too, just you know, have a good day, and I'll talk to you guys all later. Well, we'll talk to you guys all later.
Bye-bye, everyone. Yay.
We doing all the classics, you heard it, then I grabbed it. Flow like Method Man, then run like I'm Rabbit. Soon as I hear the bass line, it be my FaceTime. Music's in my veins, so just in case I'm without my iPod or a media player, I'll check my